Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to our Wednesday live. I'm so happy to be here live with you. I'm also recording this separately so I can try to post it to Instagram later. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to say hello to you on all of these platforms at the same time. We are back to our regularly programmed schedule where we're going to be doing our weekly lives at 10 a.m. every Wednesday. As you know, I do the mini message from Spirit usually on Friday mornings. Sometimes I'm a little late, but usually on Friday mornings. I do it around seeing clients and stuff, obviously. So sometimes, I'm human. I'll just say it that way. I am so excited to be here with you and talk to you today. I am still working on my morning coffee as I'm live. It's 10 a.m. Pacific. Whatever time it is, wherever you are, cheers to you. Let me know what you are sipping on, if it's water, if it's coffee, if it's tea. This is still my morning coffee, guys. I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic. Really, I want to look at or talk about getting more of what we want, right? I feel like we're all so busy. We have so many things going on. We're juggling so many different things all the time. Uh, but are we really getting what we want? Now, of course, there's many levels to this, right? There's the level of like, oh, I want to buy a house, or I want this other job, or I want to go to this school, or I want, a partner, whatever it is, those bigger life things. Sometimes our human, intention or our human, I don't know, inclination, I guess, is to try to jump right for the big thing. And yes, of course, sometimes we can. And something like a house, for example, there are elements of action that we're needing to take in the middle there. We're needing to, save the money and choose the area and find the property and all of those elements. But what about what we want to create and how we feel or what we experience day to day? Today, I have a little homework if you guys are into it. I know we're just coming off the free live workshop that ended last week. The Goddess Untamed new group has onboarding tonight, so I'm so excited to get started with them. Especially those of you that did the workshop. I really want to look at our own emotions, what we're wanting to create on a day to day level. Now, I don't mean those big things. While those are important and valid and part of what we're co creating in our world and our experience, what I mean is something a little bit more on a micro level that is really powerful as well. I mean, what do you want to create in your own day to day experience? I want to look at the emotions we want to create. And the homework, if you're into it, is to just choose something for yourself. You can do it for the rest of this week. You can do it for the rest of the month. I know we're kind of coming up on the end of April here, or you can do it longer if you choose. What emotion, what more micro thing, for lack of a better word, are you wanting to create? Are you wanting more peace? Are you wanting more calm versus like that anxious feeling? Are you wanting more clarity? Are you wanting more ease in the way that you treat yourself and talk to yourself, right? So as you're thinking about this, whether you're live or on the replay, I know a few of you are live, a handful of you, hey guys, just really giving yourself some time to think about like, what actually, how do I want to feel? Maybe it's excitement. Maybe as we are in spring and moving towards summer in most areas, maybe it's, what you're wanting to create for this new season, how you're wanting to feel. Maybe you're wanting to feel more vibrant. I've kind of been a little tired, and some of it I think is the weather we've been having, and some of it is just that I've been go, 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 which is something I work on. But what is it that you're wanting to create for yourself is the first step to this little assignment or this little homework that we're talking about. And then step 2 is checking in with yourself throughout your day and asking yourself, does X lend itself to what I'm trying to create in this feeling? I'm going to give you an example. So, say for me that I'm going to choose that I want to create more peace. Um, I would then assess the activities, the things that are coming across my desk, my plate, my computer screen. Does this give me, or does this lend itself to me receiving or experiencing or being more at peace? Now, obviously, like I said, we're all very busy. We have lots of things going in our lives and families and work and all of that. So sometimes there might be things that we can't necessarily decline, right? Depending on your situation. So it doesn't mean you have to say no to everything. It's just starting to realize if it's peace you want, maybe it's, someone, a friend wants to talk to you and you're just feeling like that it's going to be a very dramatic conversation. This person gossips, for example, and you recognize that when you talk to this person, it makes you feel uneasy, or it gets you anxious, or gets you worked up emotionally. So when this person is reaching out saying, hey, I'd like to talk, I want to gossip about something, checking in and saying, does having this conversation with this person lend itself to me experiencing peace? Right? I hope that example makes sense. Let me know if you guys are getting what I'm saying. This is just an idea I've been rolling around with these last couple days and wanted to bring to you guys because it's something I'm going to personally start doing. And a lot of times in these weekly live chats, I'm sharing things that I've been thinking about or that I'm going to start doing. Maybe it's that you want more time to meditate. And then you can look at, okay, am I taking additional things on that I don't have to, that is then Xing out that small amount of time that I could have to allocate towards meditation? For me, one of the things I'm wanting to create is more experiences. I am someone, for those of you that know me at all, hey, makes sense. Remember, put your first name in there on this platform just because it's called StreamYard, and some of you I can see and some of you I can't. YouTube, for whatever reason, it lets me see the usernames. Facebook, it just says Facebook user. More vibrancy. Yeah, so you're kind of along the same line as me. So for you, more vibrancy, it would be checking in as you're agreeing to experiences, as you're agreeing to putting things on your schedule. Does this feel vibrant? Maybe it's that, for me, for example, if I was looking at vibrancy, I know that going for a walk in the morning moves my energy, helps me wake up, helps me feel more vibrant through the day. So when my alarm is going off, your girl likes to snooze sometimes. When my alarm is going off at 6 and I'm saying like, oh, I want to sleep till 6:30. Does that lend itself to me feeling more vibrancy today? And maybe if I'm exhausted, it does. Maybe in that moment, I need that extra 30 minutes sleep, and that's the most loving thing I can do for myself. But maybe I know, nope, vibrancy, I need to move. I'm not that tired. I've gotten 8 hours of sleep. This is just, me wanting to stay in my toasty bed. So then it's no, for vibrancy, I want to be walking. Let me get up and move. So it's checking the small activities, right? We're talking about micro level here, the small decisions, and saying, okay, my goal is to create more vibrancy. Does this conversation, activity, sometimes it's even the things we're putting in our body, right? Like if I wanted more vibrancy, I know that there's certain foods that, while they are delicious and enjoyable in the moment, do not make me feel more vibrant later. So it could be something as simple as that. And it's not being rigid on yourself, right? It's not giving yourself something else to do or something else hard on your to-do list. It's really just starting to get in the habit of checking in with more intentionally making choices that support whatever we are wanting to experience. For me, like I said, I'm wanting to experience more experiences. I'm wanting to cultivate a little bit more enjoyment. Those of you that know me might know this about me. I can get really work focused. I love what I do. There are so many parts to what I do at this point, besides doing the lives and the tutorials. You guys know I have the podcast, plus I interview other people on the podcast. Sometimes I'm on other people's podcasts. I see clients in one-on-one appointments. I teach. I do a lot of things right now. And there's still the busy work of like emails and all of those other elements that go into most jobs. And I can get so focused on that and sometimes let it overwhelm my day to the place where sometimes I'm working 10, 12 hours a day. And then I am feeling too exhausted for experiences, right? Hey, Boone, good to see you. So really just trying to structure my time a little differently, looking at creating little pockets for myself, maybe on a Saturday evening, for example. I might be in the office till 5 or 6, but could I create a little time after that, make sure I'm saving some energy to have an experience and go to dinner with a friend, which if you're on my Instagram page, you saw me post a little reel a couple weeks ago of dinner with a friend. So that is what I am working on cultivating, more experiences for myself that are outside of the office. So this is my home office. So I do love being here as well. But what are you wanting to cultivate for yourself? Like I said, maybe it's more peace. Maybe it's the ability to have more time for creativity. I also love to paint, and some of you know, I, as a little side hobby, I like to refinish and paint furniture. So maybe if that was my goal, wanting more time for my creativity, maybe it's me not binge watching TV that night and saying like, okay, this 2 hours that I normally would watch TV, I'm going to just shut the TV off. I'm going to put on some music instead, and I'm going to carve out this time to do some painting. Now, we all are in different places in our life and different stages and have different responsibilities. So make it around your responsibilities. Like I said, I'm not trying to give you something extra that's difficult to put on your plate, but let's start cultivating what we want to feel, how we want our to move through our world, right? Our day to day. And the way to do that is starting with something small, how you want to feel, something you want to experience. Maybe you want to experience more spontaneous joy, right? And then it's looking at ways to set yourself up for that. If you know that you get a lot of joy through music, maybe it's more intentionally putting music on while you're working or while you're getting ready. Maybe if you have a friend that you know you get a lot of laughs with, maybe it's intentionally setting aside time to make sure you're connecting with that person. So there are lots of small ways to do it, but remember, there's 2 steps that if you want to play this game, I'm going to play this game for a couple weeks. So if you want to play along with me, I think it could be fun for us, and I think we could get a lot out of it. It's choosing one, and I don't mean small as in insignificant. It's significant. It's just something that is easy, right? It's not, oh, I want to build my business to this. That's a whole separate thing to work on. It's how do you want to feel? What do you want to experience more of on that micro scale? And then measuring all of the decisions, all of the things that you agree to against that. You know what I mean? And maybe it's giving up some things that aren't serving whatever that is. If you want more peace and you have someone that you argue with frequently, maybe it's recognizing that that's not a healthy relationship and finding ways to communicate more peacefully or to create some boundaries around when you're going to communicate with that person. There's lots of ways to do it, but we agree to so many things throughout the day, whether it's, and a lot of you, especially if you're on any of my platforms, you're probably a really empathetic, really giving, generous, kind person. And so sometimes it can feel hard when someone's asking you, oh, can you just help me with this thing? Oh, can you just do this? Oh, can you just? And for some of us, before we know it, we've taken on a bag of 10 different can you just, and then we have no time for peace, or we don't feel very peaceful because then we feel like we are up against this timeline and this to-do list. So what is it that you want to feel and cultivate? Number one. And number two, just gently measuring the things you're agreeing to. And like I said, sometimes we can't control things that we have to agree to or have to do. Some of us have little kids still. There are sometimes things we have to do that maybe aren't our favorite thing, but that we've got to do. But the things that we are agreeing to, the things that we are having more choice over, how we spend our time, what we focus on, where our mind goes when we're in the shower. And if it's to worry, you can check yourself and say, is this line of thinking adding to my peace? And if it is, great. And if it's not, then it's shifting away to, okay, what line of thinking would help me with my peace? What choice could I make that would bring more peace or that would create space for that peace, right? And sometimes it could be just not taking as many things on your to-do list. It could be restructuring your time a little bit, but it could be as simple as realizing, oh, I like to have 30 minutes quiet time at the end of my night. So I'm going to make sure that I turn everything off and schedule that for myself because that's what gives me peace rather than, someone else claiming that time of yours. It's gentle boundaries really that we're working on and more intentionally creating what we want to feel. So I would love it if you would share with me what it is on a micro scale that you're wanting to create, that you're wanting to feel or experience. And as a second step, you might already be aware of some of the things that are kind of contrary or creating an opposite energy or feeling or emotion to whatever it is you do want to create. So if you know them, I would love to know, what are you agreeing to that's contrary or counter to what you're trying to feel? Oh, Kim says she's going to play. Yay. Walking, driving, my water, meditation helps me feel more vibrant. Oh, I love that. That's great. So then, Kim, for you, it would be things like, creating boundaries around, no, I got to get my walk, a few times a week and not taking everything on your plate that is then putting what you need to the very back of the line. So gently we're starting to, this is a version of boundaries. It's a little bit different. I know lots of us are working on boundaries, myself included. I'm always working on boundaries. So it is really just figuring out what it is you want to create more of, and then what you can release or take on differently or adjust to create more of that. And again, micro scale. It's not like we need to rework our entire schedule. Although if you have the power to do that and you realize that's what you want to do, hey, go for it. Boone says, eating more healthy, creating menu for the week dinners. I love that. That's a great idea. And that always helps me too, because then you can get groceries around that list. And I like to write mine out, so then it's less thinking. I even did it for a while where I would do prep work of like cutting all the vegetables for the week and just putting them aside. So it was much easier to do that. So it's setting yourself up for success around that. And it doesn't mean you can't have any treats or anything that, might be on the less healthy side of that spectrum, but it's just looking at your overall goal and saying, no, actually, maybe it's, I already had a donut yesterday. I'm going to pass today because I'm trying to feel more healthy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm telling you, I was a single mom for a long time. Doing that food prep is like all the difference. It just makes it a little more seamless as you go, because then you've already got several of the elements pre-prepped. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad you like that idea. I'm here for, I'm here for mom tips too, I guess. So thank you guys for sharing. I won't keep you too long. I try to keep these little chats, our Wednesday chats, under 20 minutes. But I love that you guys are into this and want to play along with this. A couple little quick things. One, we have something to celebrate, which I'm going to make a separate post about. Someone emailed me that Spirit Speakeasy, our podcast, is #1 in meditation podcasts this week, which I'm super excited about. I had no idea it's #1 on any chart, but it is. So I'm pretty excited about that. I hope you guys are listening and enjoying. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I have a group reading coming up with my dear friend and colleague, Kelly Fisher. Some of you know her. We share an office and we've done a lot of events together in the past. That I will make a post about it in the group. You can also find it on my website, joyfulmedium.com, under the events section. It's live on Zoom. It's a group reading. It's on a Saturday, May 13th. It's 10:30 a.m. Pacific, which is 11:30, 12:30, 1:30 Eastern. And we're going to do messages from loved ones in the spirit world. It is kind of inspired by Mother's Day, and in honor of Mother's Day. You don't have to have a mom on the other side. You don't have to be a mom. It is just sometimes when we tap into the energy of these very special holidays or celebration days, it makes a nice energy for the group. So we are going to be doing that. It's coming up. Tickets are available. There is limited seating. We tried to keep it very reasonable ticket price. I hope lots of you will join. Tickets are already selling. So if you do know that you want in, I would suggest getting on that if you can. Again, look on joyfulmedium.com, my website, and it's under the events section, which is a new section that I just created with the help of Emily. Hey, Emily, if you're watching. So lots of love, big hugs. Let me know, what is it you're wanting to create more of? I am wanting to create more experiences, more cultivated, intentional experiences in my life. So I will be reporting into you guys about how I'm doing on that. And I would love to know what you are creating and how that's going, what you're finding that you can do more of, or what you're finding you can release, or even for me, sometimes it's what can I say no to, which feels a little scary, but sometimes it's okay to say no to things, right, guys? Big hugs, lots of love. I'm so happy to be with you guys here as usual. I will see you on Friday morning for the weekly mini reading, and we will see what Spirit's got for us for this next week. As you can see behind me, as we've been talking, the burn off is happening here in SoCal. We have this like gray sometimes this time of year that burns off and becomes sunny. So that's exciting. I hope it is sunny and beautiful wherever you are. I will see you in a couple days. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye for now.